And welcome back. Now we have the women's lineup for the first race league event. And with this lineup, we have 7 women signed up. Most of them are masters athletes, and a couple of them are teenagers. So it's really diverse with the crowd. We have Hasini and Ruchira, who are both under 16. And then in the masters we have Bulbuli, we have Gladys, Mitra, Lavangi, and Lavanya. The race distance is going to be the same. It's going to be 23 kilometers, so that's 3 laps around Champs-Élysées. Now obviously with a smaller field, the women have to play the game a little differently. They'll need to be a bit more tactical about what they're doing. Let's see how it pans out. About 40 seconds to the start. Seconds. Let's see if the women also start really hot like the men did, or if they take a more conservative approach. And here we go. And we have Ruchi, our youngest participant. She's 14. She's already doing 220 watts. Maybe she wants to break away from the others and perhaps form a strong front bunch. We have Hasini, a 16-year-old. She's also with Ruchi. We have Lavangi, and we have Lavanya also at the front. So these 4 riders have already formed a group, and they are about 5 seconds ahead of Bulbuli, who's racing from Bangalore, and Gladys is right behind Bulbuli, holding on to her wheel using the draft. So obviously the race start is very different here than in the men's field. We can see that the women were a bit more conservative, but they've still formed a group up front, and now it's going to be cat and mouse games between these 4. Let's see how things pan out. And the funny thing is, all 4 women who are in the front bunch over here, they're all state level athletes, a few of them national level athletes from Tamil Nadu, so very strong riders. It's very nice to see the diversity amongst the women, with work and family commitments, and in general the Indian attitude of not allowing women to participate in sport related events. It's really nice to see these women doing this on a regular basis, training hard and showing up to these events. They're all doing about 150 watts right now. So one thing we might see slightly different over here is that the women are pushing more watts on the game than they might be in a real road race. What happens in a typical road race in the women's field in India is there's a lot more of a conservative approach. So it kind of comes down to a sprint finish most of the times. Here maybe we might see slightly different strategy. We might see the women pushing a bit more power, maybe trying to break away earlier. Let's see how it pans out. We can see that it's getting a little bit strung out. The girls up front are pushing 3 watts per kilo, so the other two need to match that if going uphill, or if it's a flat section they need to match the raw wattage. So in this case about 180 to 200 watts is what everyone should be doing if they want to stay together and not get dropped. You can see that the heart rate readings are very different for the youngsters versus the other two ladies. Youngsters who are under 16, their heart rate is already at 185, 190 beats per minute, and the women are holding more like 170 to 180 beats per minute. So you can see that the women are kind of pushing pretty hard. It's good to see, but hopefully they won't blow up too early. Let's see. And we can see Ruchi popping the arrow power up and trying to make a break. She's perhaps a few meters ahead of Hasini and Lavanya, who's a little bit behind, and Lavangi is also a little bit behind. So you can see that the others are starting to put a little bit of a gap on Lavangi. Hasini and Ruchi are together, and we can see Lavanya also with this bunch. So a trio has broken away from Lavangi. Now it's good to see Lavangi actually racing here. She met with an accident just about a month ago, and it was pretty major. A dog came in her path while she was in the TT bike. So she had multiple surgeries on the elbow as well as the shoulder. So it's really good to see her back on the bike and just being a part of this event. And now we can see Lavanya and Hasini are slowly getting dropped, and Ruchi is starting to pull away from them. So Ruchi is putting out some crazy power numbers, 4.55 watts per kilo, and she's got a 4-second lead. Ruchi is the youngest of the lot today. She's 14 years old. She's a very strong athlete. Now Hasini and Lavanya are kind of working together. They are the chase group now. This is for second spot, if they can hold it together till the end. And then we have Lavangi a bit behind, about 15 to 18 seconds behind. So let's see how this pans out. And and she's popping the arrow power up to get a little bit of a boost. Ruchi has the sprint jersey. She is obviously the fastest across the sprint, and she also used her power up to make the gap even bigger. Hasini and Lavanya are about 5 seconds slower, and the gap is now 13 seconds between Ruchi and the chasing group. So as of now, provisionally, Ruchi is up front in first spot, and we have Hasini and Lavanya chasing her down, and Lavangi in fourth. Let's go back a little bit. We can see Bulbuli is about 37 seconds behind Lavangi. Let's see if she puts in an effort to catch up to Lavangi. And I believe we have Gladys, who's a little bit behind Bulbuli as well. So let's see what the gap is. Okay, Gladys is about 30 seconds behind. Okay, now back to Ruchi, and Ruchi is still pushing solid power numbers. She's about 20 seconds ahead of the chase group, which is Lavanya and Hasini. And Hasini pops the draft power up. So as you guys can see, the draft power is glowing in red right now. What that means is it's not really doing anything. Essentially, the power up works when you're behind a person. So if Hasini was behind Lavanya and used the power up, it would be glowing in the normal color, which means she's actually getting a draft benefit out of that. So that's how you learn to use these power ups. Lavangi now, she's about 30 seconds behind Lavanya and Hasini. Make that 40. And Ruchi is about 21 seconds ahead of the chase group now. So Ruchi is made the break and she's away now. So all she has to do is manage the gap between her and the chase group, and she should be good to go. What's fun is to watch the kind of power that she's doing. She's been steady at 170 to 180 watts, which is really awesome to watch. And her heart rate has kind of settled in at 180 to 185 to 190 beats per minute. So now she's basically doing a TT effort. And Hasini and Lavanya are still together, and they are about 23 seconds behind Ruchi. You can see Lavanya slowly moving ahead, and Hasini sprinting to catch back Lavanya. Gap is kind of maintaining, it's about 40 seconds. Let's see where Gladys and Bulbuli are. Okay, so Bulbuli is about 50 seconds behind, and Gladys about 57 seconds behind. Okay, back to the chase group. people are using the old bench bias. Looks like it's a pretty popular bike on Zwift. Now Zwift does have an unlock feature based on your level, so when you ride more on Zwift, you get experience points, and that attributes to your level on Zwift. And along with a level up, you also unlock certain goodies like different frames and different wheels and so on, which you can buy from the marketplace using a parameter called drops. Now drops is something like XP. You earn drops in game when you climb up a hill, for instance. So if you're doing a map which is very hilly, you'll be getting a lot of drops, and that's what you use towards buying some of this gear. So obviously, if you've been riding a bit longer on Zwift, you might have access to more goodies, and you could buy them if you've accumulated enough drops. Okay, so the gap is kind of maintaining. Ruchi is still up front, and now the gap between her and the chase group is up to 30 seconds from 22-23. So she's still maintaining the same kind of watts per kilo. She's pacing her effort. Now we are still only in the first lap, so we still have 2 more laps to go, so anything could happen. Now is the time that the ladies need to settle in and kind of pace themselves and not blow up. So let's see how they pace their effort. Now the FMCC Zwift Racing Series, this is not a new thing. I have conducted some of these races in the past. What's funny is both Lavanya and Lavangi have participated in every edition of the Zwift race. So from the first one, they've always been a part of this. So really appreciate the support that they're providing. A few others have also participated in most of the events conducted. So we do hope to see more participation going forward. Obviously, there's a lot of really strong women out there, and this is something that could cater to their specific needs. Giving them the opportunity to race in a safer environment. Families won't object as much, and they can also do a much harder effort as a result. So let's see how it goes. Okay, and Lavanya has set a PR. Looks like Hasini has popped the arrow power up and Lavanya has popped the draft power up. So if Lavanya can get closer, the draft should kick in. She's gone past. And now she's letting off the power to... Yeah, there we go. Now you can see that the draft power up turned blue and it wasn't red anymore. So that's when you know that the draft is actually working. For some reason it's showing red now. I'm not sure if it's a graphics thing, but it should be blue. Okay, that was the last 10 seconds of the draft. That way it was that's why it was red in color. Okay. Okay, we can see Ruchi is now 50 seconds ahead of the chase group, and Lavangi is about 1 minute behind Hasini and Lavanya. Let's see where Gladys and Bulbuli are. Okay, so Bulbuli is about a minute behind Lavangi, and Gladys is about a minute and 7 seconds behind. Again, excellent effort by all the women. They are racing hard, considering many of them probably already rode in the morning, already did a workout in the morning as well. So it's really good to see this. We can see Hasini has pulled away from Lavanya. There's a 3-second gap. She has the fastest time up the sprint segment, so she's got the green jersey. Ruchi held both the red as well as the green jersey earlier. So Ruchi's lap times are about 10:59. Whereas Hasini's is 11:41, Lavanya's 11:42. But Hasini did a solid effort up the climb segment, and she's got a small gap on Lavanya now, about 6 seconds. So let's see if Lavanya can bridge the gap, catch back Hasini. Gap slowly increasing, so now Lavanya has to be careful. She needs to either manage the gap or try and catch Hasini. Obviously, riding with another rider will always make you go a little bit faster. So we can see Lavangi is about a minute and 28 seconds behind, just finishing the sprint segment. Now Hasini is about a minute behind Ruchi, and she's got 15 seconds of gap between her and Lavanya. So she's pushing hard. She wants to make the gap bigger, but now is where she has to pace herself. As we can see, she's pushing about 200 watts, and her heart rate is also at 200. So she needs to pace herself so that she can sustain this effort. There's still another 10.5 kilometers to go, so another 20 minutes or so. And Ruchi is still up front, still doing that TT effort. She's doing about 180 to 190, 200 watts, and holding steady heart rate of about 190 beats per minute. Looks like she's in her zone. Okay, so Lavanya is kind of settled in. She's about 20 seconds behind Hasini. So I think now she's trying to manage the gap between herself and Lavangi and take away those valuable points. 3 points for the third place. Gap between Lavangi and Lavanya is about 1:37. And Bulbuli is about a minute behind Lavangi, and then we have Gladys behind. Gladys is about a minute and 30 seconds, and she popped the featherweight power up, so that obviously makes her go at a higher watt per kilo. Okay, and Lavanya is about 22 seconds behind Hasini. And we still have Ruchi up front, still doing that TT effort. She's been pushing right from the start, and she made the break early. She's just been maintaining that gap, slowly been pulling away from the rest. Solid race by Ruchi so far. Okay, back to Lavanya, and now the gap is about 28 seconds between Lavanya and Hasini, so it looks like Hasini has pulled away a little bit more. And the gap between Lavanya and Lavangi is still maintained at about a minute and 30 seconds. So it looks like Lavanya is managing the gaps. And the same goes for Lavangi, so she's still kind of maintaining that 1 minute gap to herself and Bulbuli. We're back to Ruchi, and she's still doing that solid TT effort. Really awesome to watch the kind of power numbers that she's putting out at her age. And the thing with having youngsters participate in these events is it kind of gives them an idea of where they stand in the global scheme of things as well. They might not have the same kind of competition in their locality, for instance, or their city. So this gives them a much better opportunity to race globally and see how others are doing in a similar situation. So let's hope this kind of racing also helps the overall Indian cycling scene. So Ruchi is about 5 kilometers away from the finish. She's put in a really mature effort right from the start, and she's sustained it so well. It's really awesome to see this from a 14-year-old. Just shows the maturity in and the racing acumen at this young age. And this is something that most of us can pick up from this youngster over here. Absolutely fantastic. And chapeau to Hasini as well. The way she formed a group and then broke the group and kind of went away from Lavanya as well as Lavangi. Really good effort from her, and she's been doing some solid power numbers as well, pushing her heart rate up to 201 beats per minute. Crazy to see that. Lavanya has put in a steady and a solid race, using the power up at the right time, going uphill. And she's managed the race really well between herself and the others. Lavangi has put in an excellent effort. Racing just a month after a major accident is major kudos in itself. So just be out here and dueling it out with the best is comes second to none. And Bulbuli has been doing some excellent watt per kilo. So if this map was a bit more had a bit more elevation, I'm sure Bulbuli would be up at the front with the other women. The best part is a lot of these women haven't done any Zwift racing before either, so major learnings for all of them. They can all take back what they've learned from today's event, and that's going to make them a stronger rider. Gladys has been doing some good power numbers as well. She's riding with the basic bike, so maybe she can upgrade her bike to a better machine next time around. Okay, now we are back to Ruchi, and she's about 2 kilometers away from the finish. An absolutely stunning effort by her. She's been on rails right from the start, and it's just amazing to see her power so steady, and there's no fluctuation, no dips or rises or anything, no over unders, nothing. Steady effort. She broke away and then she just maintained that effort. Excellent work. Another 700 meters to go for Ruchi, and she's still holding that steady, awesome power. 4 watts per kilo. Just fantastic effort by her. $500 meters to go. Just a masterclass, absolute masterclass. And the gap between her and Hasni is about 2 minutes. So steady effort throughout and finishing strong as well. She's upped her power now. She's doing 4.3, 4.4 watts per kilo as she finishes strong. And she's sprinting for the finish as well. 6 watts per kilo. Fantastic, Ruchi. Congratulations. What an effort. massive effort. Now let's jump back to the other women. So let me jump over to Hasini whenever the slider shows me the option to. There we go. Now we are over to Hasini, and Hasini is about 800 meters away from the finish. She wants to be done with it, so she's pushing hard. Her heart rate is up to 202, 203 beats per minute, 4 watts per kilo. Pushing hard again. Another fantastic race by Hasini. Solid effort. For these kids with exams and school pressure and other stuff, homework, it's just really nice to see them out here still smashing it out. And Lavanya is about a minute and 24 behind. And Hasini is 300 meters away from the finish. She's going to finish in second spot. She's also pushing 4-5 watts per kilo now. She wants to finish it fast. Next up would be Lavanya, about a minute and 30 behind. And there we go, Hasini's putting in a little sprint. Excellent work, Hasini. Congratulations on second spot. Fantastic work by Hasini. And next up we'll have Lavanya. She should pull it in and take the third spot. Go. So we have Lavanya coming in third spot, and then we have Lavangi behind her. So these two ladies have kind of held that steady distance between each other, as well as the other riders behind them. So good solid effort, and Lavanya is also pushing solid power numbers to finish the race strong. Her heart rate's also at 191, 192 beats per minute now, so she's pushing hard. Good strong finish, Lavanya. Well done. 300 meters to go for Lavanya. And Lavanya's third. Fantastic work, Lavanya. Congratulations. Next up we have Lavangi. She's about 300 meters away from the finish. So it's the final finish stretch. Her heart rate is also a bit higher now, closer to 180 beats per minute. A good strong race after an injury. Good to see you come back. Bulbuli is about a minute and 24 behind. And Gladys about 2 minutes and 40 behind Bulbuli. So good strong racing by all the women. Apologies, I lost current and internet for a second. So we are about and that's Lavangi finishing up her race as well, so good strong effort to finish 4th. Next we have Bulbuli pulling it in. She's about a kilometer away from the finish, and Gladys also finishing strong. Excellent race by all the women. Okay, nice strong finish in the end as well by Lavangi. Well done. Okay, let's watch Bulbuli pull it in. There's a possibility that many racers today might have even achieved some personal bests. Um, power PBs, for instance, like 20-minute powers or 30-minute powers. So a good alternate to doing an FTP test. We all know how much everyone hates an FTP test. So this is a better alternative, because you won't know the effort going in, but you'll still end up with good power numbers, and that'll help with your training in any case. So excellent race by Bulbuli, pulling it in for 5th. She's got a nice bike as well, the Dogma. Okay, and Gladys, our last racer to pull it in. She's done a steady effort right from the start. I think she didn't expect the fast pace right at the start, so next time she'll be more prepared. Here we go, Bulbuli's pulling it in. Final stretch. Another 100 meters to go. Excellent racing by Bulbuli. Congratulations. And over to Gladys, our final racer. And this is Gladys's first Zwift race as well. So just really happy to see so many people exploring this type of racing. And certainly exciting times are ahead. Gladys is in the final stretch, 1.5 kilometers to go. Another kilometer to go. Let's hope my UPS battery lasts for a couple minutes. And I want to thank everyone for being a part of this, just viewing these events, watching all your friends and fellow riders participate in this and cheering them on. It means a big deal, right? While everyone races for themselves, it's also fun to have that community. So it's really nice when the community comes together. So we hope to have you all watching more events in the future. But thank you all for joining this time around. Another 700 meters to go, and this race is over. 200 meters to go for Gladys. She's at the finish stretch. She's putting out more power as well. So good to see that. Good to see that everyone is pushing hard towards the end. Excellent racing. And she's about to finish. There we go. Congratulations, Gladys. Fantastic racing by all the women. And I'm going to sign off for today. Thank you everyone for being a part of this. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Cheers.